Boom shakalaka. On average, when these two signals line up, Bitcoin price goes up 12x. And they just fired again. Stay tuned. What's up, everyone? Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video. These two signals that just fired, on average, when they happen, Bitcoin price goes up 12x. We're going to get into exactly what they are and what this potentially means. Before we do, like the video, join us on Twitter at @CryptoLove, and of course, subscribe to the OG Bitcoin and Crypto YouTube channel because it's just cooler than everything else. Now, today, fear and greed at 25. Extreme fear, once again, seems to be like the market is hovering in extreme fear. The overall market sideways. Today, Bitcoin 82,283, Ethereum 1559, and XRP at $2.01. Now, Bitcoin is still in this downtrend, but you can see found a double bottom at this line right here. That was previous resistance, now could be turned to support. Not only that, but you can see this yellow line right here, the 50-day moving average, ducking below this orange line right here, the 200-day moving average. The last time this happened in a sideways consolidation, if we zoom back, was right here. This was after the bottom occurred, as it found support on a previous support and resistance line. So could it be once again the bottom forming? Well, we're going to get into it because this chart right here is going to blow your mind, but you got to hang around towards the end of the video or just fast forward to the end of the video to help out with the YouTube algorithm type of thing. Now, just recently, Bitcoin did bounce off of 1-year moving average yesterday. Notice the significance of this level during prior bull, bear, and current bear markets or bull markets. Well, when it bounced off, that was kind of between the double tops of last market. Definitely not the end, but you know, some people would have said, yeah, if you sold there, you probably would have done well. But when it bounced off as resistance, well, that was pretty much the downtrend. So important level to keep an eye on for the Bitcoin. But you want to know what's really interesting? This price where Bitcoin is right now, 82,000 and change, guess what? This is pretty much median fair value for Bitcoin. If we take a look at the basic power law fair value statistics, right now, for all those who are calling the end of the cycle, we haven't really even entered the bubble phase yet. Pretty interesting. We had bubble, 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 nothing. So, what does that mean? Well, right now, Bitcoin hash rate is breaking out of sideways consolidation. You can see these consolidation areas in hash rate with these red boxes. As it breaks out, Bitcoin price goes up. Willy has been talking about this forever. Bitcoin price follows hash rate. Guess what? Hash rate going up, Bitcoin price likely going up. And you know who knows this? The whales. All the other cohorts selling, or at the very least not buying. Whales aggressively buying Bitcoin. What do they know that we don't know? Probably that there's going to be a lot of money printing. The value of everything else is going to plummet through the floor. And maybe gold, real estate, and Bitcoin will do well. Everything else about to go down the toilet. Now, Bitcoin does have a nice setup here on the weekly charts. We have a perfected TD9 buy setup on the weekly. Now, this chart is especially poignant because it's the first bullish chart printed by Tony the Bear in a long, long time. So this could be significant. I'd pay attention to it. You know what else I'd pay attention to? How about this liquidity lead? If we take a look at Bitcoin, follows pretty much par for the course, except all of a sudden it's taking off and Bitcoin is still sitting down there. Is it possible to manipulate the Bitcoin price? Yes, it's happened a billion freaking times before. This is only one more time, maybe the one last time we'll see it happening. If we take a look at liquidity conditions, looks very similar to what we had back at this time here. The only other Bitcoin setup exactly like this, I mean, par for the course pretty much. And what was that? That was right before Bitcoin did like 100x, something like that, the 2017 cycle right there. So we could be on the verge of something very, very big coming. As a matter of fact, after all this rigorous analysis, could it be as simple as this little cup and handle formation right here? Oh my goodness. Wouldn't that be perfect? Things could be about to take off because, like I mentioned in the beginning, when these two conditions occur simultaneously, Bitcoin on average goes up 12x or 11,000%. 1100%, something like that. Well, even if you take away these two biggest, yes, 1100, not 11,000, excuse me. But when you take away these two biggest times when they were in the 1,000% returns, like this 2017 one that occurred right here, if we take away that one and we also take away this one from 2013, the two biggest, it's still a 3x on price. So that being said, what are these signals and what does it mean? Well, these signals would be the hash ribbons signaling a buy signal while simultaneously having low volatility, when volatility is down here in this green territory right here. When these two things combine, no, my friends, it's not Captain Planet. It is a massive Bitcoin pump, and that could be exactly what's coming around the corner. All this impending bear market evidence, well, may be contrary, because all this funny business that's happening with the overall global economy, that was basically the birth of Bitcoin, 2008, to deal with all this funny business. So we'll see if the hardest asset ever actually can do what it was created for. Now, here's one more reason why Bitcoin is likely to 11x or 12x, because that would put it exactly at Jim Cramer's prediction, who is one of the two worst people at predicting Bitcoin price. Basically, everything he ever says about Bitcoin is 100% wrong. He just recently said there's no way Bitcoin is going to $1 million, which almost guarantees that Bitcoin is going to $1 million. The only question is when, and if it doesn't go that high, if he is wrong. Well, based on the diminishing golden curves of Bitcoin, at the very least, based on the halving theory sine wave right here, the top would still occur late 2025. We still have 6-ish or more months until then. And based on the diminishing curves, this is at cycle top plus 5, plus 4, plus 3, cycle top plus 2 would still put it at $186,000 by, I don't know, the end of this year. So that's all for this episode. If you enjoy it, just like the video. Helps out a whole bunch. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
Boom. Shakalaka.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.